Almost all genres of video games available out there feature some form of exploration elements because they are an essential part of the gameplay, making the players feel free to go where they want and they recreate the illusion of reality. In today's video, we try to include not only the big open world RPGs that have huge worlds you can explore, but also the little gaming titles that try to breach the market with uniquely emotional gameplay, innovative ideas, and challenging tasks the players must complete. They often offer a more courageous approach to the whole idea of exploration, taking us into mind-bending adventures. But let us see what are the 10 best games that let us discover new worlds, be them material or only inside the mind. An open-world survival with a non-linear gameplay, The Forest takes place on a deeply forested island where the player character and a child that we are made to believe is his son are the survivors of a plane crash. There are no quests or predefined missions, the players being able to decide how they will manage their supplies in order to survive and be strong enough to hunt down the cannibal who stole his son when the plane crashed. The forest evokes an utterly isolated atmosphere, with a day and night cycle that makes the storyline become even more terrifying, especially after the sun goes down and you have no fire to protect you. The fact that you need to constantly search around for supplies, explore dangerous areas, and finally unveil secret locations on the island is yet another plus of this game. ASTRONEER is a sandbox game where the players don't really have any specific tasks to do or goals to achieve, the gameplay being based around pure exploration. There are no dangerous enemies to be faced, but some obstacles such as dust storms or falling from high places could kill your character. Also, your oxygen supply must be replenished from time to time since the game takes place on another planet. The core of the gameplay is based on terraforming, a specific technique that allows the player to modify the surrounding land however he or she wants to. An in-game 3D printer enables the players to create useful tools and all kinds of necessary objects. Even though ASTRONEER doesn't set any specific goals, you can see how varied it is in terms of gameplay. After a geomagnetic disaster affected the whole world, a crash pilot needs to survive the harsh winter of the Canadian wilderness by exploring vast zones, scavenging and hunting. The game has only minimal HUD elements that inform the player about their state of health, being notified when they are hurt, freezing or starving. The main objective of the game is to survive as much as possible, a permadeath system making the players restart a new game if they die, the save file being permanently deleted. The Long Dark is often praised for the authentic atmosphere it evokes and the weather conditions that force the player to adapt his lifestyle to the environment while exploring and searching for food or shelter. A first-person adventure exploration video game, Gone Home's gameplay focuses on searching each and every corner of a mansion in Portland, Oregon. Through different notes and written messages, the player, taking the role of Caitlin, unveils countless secrets about her mother, father, and 18-year-old sister that vacated the house due to unknown reasons. Along the way, more and more pieces of information will come together and everything will start to make sense, Katie being able to find out why her family left the house as well as some unwanted dark secrets from her past. Gone Home is entirely about exploration, finding uncomfortable truths, and ultimately getting to know a bit more about human nature. With no combat and no action-based sequences, the player guides Stanley, the game's main character, through a dreamlike environment, while the exposition is narrated by a mysterious voice. The player can decide which paths to choose, and because sometimes the narrator tells us what Stanley will do next, you can choose to follow the instructions or to completely ignore them, forging a new way for yourself. Regardless of the choices the player makes, they will be remarked by the storyteller in the quirkiest way possible. The Stanley parable has 6 possible endings, the gameplay being focused on decision-making and exploration of the human mind frame and how it works when faced with choices. Having a change of pace and moving from peaceful exploration to something with a bit more action, Far Cry 3 offers numerous hours of entertainment with its open-world elements that perfectly mix with the first-person shooter perspective, and the result is a glorious amalgam of sheer adrenaline. Jason Brody is stranded on an island after his vacation goes bad, and his friends are kidnapped by pirates, his task being to save them and escape together unharmed. Besides taking part in missions, gaining skill points and killing enemies, players appreciate Far Cry 3's exploration options that take them to stunning sceneries. The gameplay as well as the storyline are extremely well implemented, resulting in a one-of-a-kind experience. In Antichamber, the player controls an unnamed character as they wander through levels filled with impossible objects created by the game designer. Passages that lead to diverse locations, depending on which way they face, laser beams that are used as mechanisms that open or close different doors, and many other contraptions that would seem impossible within a regular tri-dimensional space are included. The main goal is to use the coloured guns that you are provided with at some point in the game and find the way out from this extremely challenging maze. Antichamber is, in fact, an anti-game that forces the player to renounce all preconceptions, think outside of the box and find solutions where there seem to be none. In Fallout 4, you are free to complete quests, help out different factions, gain experience points to level up, but you can also explore the desolate sceneries of a world in full destruction. In the retro-futuristic universe that encompasses a region that includes Boston, Massachusetts, and other parts of New England known as the Commonwealth, the player is able to wander through a world that very much resembles the 1940s and 1950s. Fallout 4 is especially esteemed for its dense gameplay content, the depth of the world rendered, and the many possibilities the players have while exploring and completing missions. It is definitely one of the greatest games of the decade, and continues to fascinate gamers every day. Henry is a fire lookout in the Shoshone National Forest, and after 1 month of working there, a string of weird events begins to unfold. Both he and his supervisor, Delilah, are affected by these mysterious happenings that ultimately lead to a larger conspiracy mystery that happened a few years back. A major part of the gameplay is represented by exploring the surrounding environments on foot, Henry being able to use a walkie-talkie to talk with his supervisor through the dialogue choices available in the game. FIREWATCH has been particularly appreciated for its gameplay cohesion, the rich forest environments that can be explored, and the overall feel of isolation it relies upon. Pretty much any open-world RPG offers its fair share of exploration, but it seems Skyrim is favoured by many gamers when it comes to roaming freely through the world, and especially with the myriad of mods that you can install. You can feel like you're playing a different game every time. Its vast open world offers innumerable forests, villages, cities and taverns that you can venture into, and the fact that you can indefinitely postpone the main storyline and ignore the quests enforces the idea of pure exploration even more. Skyrim is more certainly one of the most complex gaming titles where the players can find exactly what they're looking for: combat, romantic relationships, or hours and hours of long walks across the hypnotizing landscape. This was our list showcasing the best exploration games you can get your hands on, and we hope you've enjoyed our video. If you did, please press that like button as we do appreciate it and it helps us immensely. We often ask our audience for suggestions to compile these lists, and if you'd like to contribute, please follow FragHero on Facebook. You can also post other great titles that you've played in the comments below, because we do try to read pretty much everything. Now would also be a great time to encourage you to subscribe, because we upload new stuff all of the time, so subscribing will keep you up to date with all of our latest videos. You can also check out FragHero.com for more gaming related articles, but until next time, thanks for watching and have a great day.